There is a room in Federal Unity College that nobody enters. The door is locked. The windows are sealed. But every night, if you listen closely, you will hear a child laughing inside. They say if you can sleep in that room for 7 nights without running, without losing your mind, you will wake up rich beyond imagination. But if you fail, you will either die or go mad. Many have tried. None have succeeded. But there was one man who had no choice but to try. The man who abandoned the woman who loved him. The man whose silence created the monster. This is the legend of Abiku. 5 years had passed since Ifeoma lost her mind. 5 years since Mama Nkiru was found broken in her bedroom, rocking back and forth, muttering about tiny footprints. 5 years since the schoolgirls first heard the laughter of a child that should not exist. The town had not forgotten. How could they? Every month, someone would report seeing a little girl standing near the school compound at night. A girl with skin that glowed faintly, with eyes that were hollow and dark. She never spoke. She only smiled. And when she smiled, people ran. The school had tried everything. They called pastors. They called native doctors. They even called the police. But what can the police do against a spirit? Eventually, they sealed the room. The small quarters where Ifeoma had lived. The room where she gave birth to Adana 3 times. They locked the door, boarded the windows, and warned everyone to stay away. But rumors spread. People whispered that the room held a secret, that anyone who could survive 7 nights inside would receive wealth beyond measure. The Abiku, they said, was testing people. It wanted someone to accept it, someone to prove they would not reject it like Mama Nkiru did. Some believed the rumors, some thought it was nonsense, but nobody was brave enough to try. After Ifeoma was taken to the psychiatric hospital, Mr. Chukwuemeka did what he had always done. He ran. He left the town. He told people his wife had died. He never visited her in the hospital. He never asked about her. He buried the guilt deep inside himself and tried to start a new life. He moved to Lagos. He got a job at a trading company. He worked hard. He kept his head down, and eventually he remarried. His new wife's name was Adaeze. She was younger than him, beautiful and ambitious. She came from a poor family and saw Chukwuemeka as a ticket to a better life. But Chukwuemeka was not rich. He was comfortable but not wealthy. Adaeze wanted more. She knew something was wrong with her husband. He talked in his sleep. He called out names she did not recognize. Ifeoma, Chidima, Adana. Sometimes he would wake up sweating, saying, "I'm sorry, I should have protected you." One day, Adaeze decided to find out the truth. She traveled to Chukwuemeka's hometown and asked questions. The townspeople were happy to talk. They told her everything about Ifeoma, about the 3 children who kept dying and returning, about Mama Nkiru's cruelty, about the Abiku that now haunted the school, and they told her about the room. Adaeze returned to Lagos with a plan. She did not tell Chukwuemeka what she had learnt. Instead, she waited. She studied him. She noticed how he flinched whenever someone mentioned children. She noticed how he avoided anything that reminded him of his past. She knew he was weak. She knew he carried guilt, and she knew exactly how to use it. One evening, she sat him down and said calmly, "I know about Ifeoma." Chukwuemeka's face went pale. "What are you talking about?" "I know about the children," Adaeze continued. "I know about the Abiku. I know everything." Chukwuemeka began to shake. "Who told you?" Adaeze smiled. "It doesn't matter who told me. What matters is that you have a chance to make things right." She told him about the room. She told him about the 7 nights. She told him that the Abiku was his child and it was waiting for him to accept it. "If you can survive 7 nights," she said, "we will be rich. You can finally pay for what you did. You can give that child what you never gave it, your presence." Chukwuemeka refused. "You're mad," he said. I'm not going back there. But Adaeze was patient. She reminded him every day. She whispered in his ear at night. She made him feel the weight of his guilt until he could no longer carry it. Finally, after 3 months of pressure, Chukwuemeka agreed. Chukwuemeka returned to the town for the first time in 5 years. The school looked the same, but it felt different. Darker, heavier, like something was watching. Adaeze had made arrangements. She paid the security guard to unlock the room. She told the man they were doing a spiritual cleansing. The guard took the money but warned them. Many people have entered that room. The room was small and dusty. There was an old bed in the corner, a wooden chair, and nothing else. The windows were boarded shut. The only light came from a small lamp Adaeze had brought. 7 nights, Adaeze said. I'll bring you food and water through the window. Just stay inside. Don't leave. Don't give up. Chukwuemeka looked around the room. This was where Ifeoma had suffered. This was where his children had been born and had died. He could feel their presence already. Adaeze locked the door from outside. See you in 7 days, my husband. The first night, Chukwuemeka heard nothing. He thought maybe the rumors were false. Maybe there was no Abiku. Maybe he would survive easily. But on the second night, the laughter began. It started soft, like a child playing in the distance. Then it grew louder, closer. Chukwuemeka searched the room, but he saw nothing. The laughter seemed to come from everywhere at once. Then he saw her, a little girl, standing in the corner of the room. She looked exactly like Ifeoma. The same face, the same eyes, but her skin was pale, almost glowing, and her eyes were hollow, empty, like dark wells. Papa, she said softly, why did you leave us? Chukwuemeka screamed. He banged on the door, begging Adaeze to let him out, but Adaeze did not respond. She was staying at a nearby hotel, waiting for the 7 days to pass. The third night was worse. The girl did not just appear. She touched him. Her hands were cold, so cold it burned. She asked him questions he could not answer. Why didn't you protect Mama? Why did you let Grandma send us away? Why didn't you come looking for us? Chukwuemeka cried. He apologized. He begged for forgiveness. But the girl just tilted her head and smiled. On the fourth night, Chukwuemeka saw Ifeoma. Not the mad woman he had abandoned, but the young woman he had married. She stood beside the girl, holding her hand. You were supposed to protect us, Ifeoma said, but you were too weak. Chukwuemeka fell to his knees. I know. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. The fifth and sixth nights blurred together. Chukwuemeka stopped eating. He stopped sleeping. He talked to himself constantly, apologizing to people who were not there. Sometimes he laughed. Sometimes he cried. Sometimes he just stared at the wall. On the 7th night, the little girl appeared one final time. She walked towards him slowly. Chukwuemeka was too weak to move. Do you accept me? She asked. Do you accept me as your daughter? Chukwuemeka looked at her. For the first time, he did not see a monster. He saw a child. A child he had failed. A child who only wanted to be loved. Yes, he whispered. You are my daughter. You have always been my daughter. The girl smiled. Not the creepy smile from before. A real smile. A child's smile. Then everything went dark. Adaeze returned the next morning. When she opened the door, the smell hit her first. The smell of something old and rotten. Chukwuemeka was lying on the floor, barely breathing. But the room had changed. Where there had been dust and emptiness, there was now gold, silver, bundles of cash, precious stones, more wealth than Adaeze had ever seen. She screamed with joy. We are rich! We are finally rich! But Chukwuemeka did not respond. His eyes were open, but they were empty. He was alive, but something inside him had died. Over the following months, Adaeze tried to enjoy the wealth. She bought a house, she bought cars, she bought everything she had ever wanted. But Chukwuemeka never recovered. He would wake up at night calling for Adana. He would talk to empty corners, apologizing over and over. Sometimes he would laugh for hours without stopping. Sometimes he would cry until he could not breathe. Adaeze eventually had him committed to the same psychiatric hospital where Ifeoma had been taken. The doctors said his condition was similar to hers. They said he might never recover. Chukwuemeka spent his remaining years in that hospital. He never recognized Adaeze when she visited. He only recognized one person, a little girl that nobody else could see. He died 3 years later, holding a conversation with someone invisible, smiling like a man who had finally found peace. Adaeze kept the wealth. She moved to another city, changed her name, and started a new life. She never spoke about what happened, but the room in Federal Unity College was not finished. They sealed it again after Chukwuemeka. They reinforced the locks. They painted warning signs on the door. But every night, the laughter still echoes from inside. The Abiku is still there, still waiting, still testing. Some say it is looking for someone who will truly accept it, not for wealth, but for love. Some say it will roam forever, punishing those who rejected it. If you ever find yourself near Federal Unity College at night and you hear a child laughing, do not investigate. Do not follow the sound, and whatever you do, do not enter that room. Because the Abiku does not just want your fear, it wants your acceptance. And if you cannot give it that, it will take everything else. The question remains, was the wealth a blessing or a curse? Let me know in the comments.